around 2000 degrees hot. If you may explain this. Quetzal says the fact that we obtain energy from the thermosphere does not fall under secrecy. Concerning the technical details, however, I may give no information officially because according to our directives, this would be an unauthorized intervention in the technological development, which would plunge the Earth people into a catastrophe. Once it is considered that the Earth people repurpose practically all their valuable technological inventions and achievements in apparatuses and devices, in order to cause destruction with these, especially in terms of wars and the destruction of nature, then they would also abuse these insights. If the earthly scientists would have knowledge of the utilization of the thermosphere's energy, then they would construct the thermosphere-energy technology into an all-destroying weapon, by which entire countries could be burnt to ashes within seconds. Billy says, I take it from your words that the utilization of such a weapon from the thermosphere's energy would be much more powerful, worse, and devastating than this could ever be, even through the strongest atom bomb. It would probably burn everything to ashes and cinder and, perhaps, even melt the rock and the soil. Am I right in this acceptance? Quetzal says your acceptance is exactly correct. Through a weapon of this kind, microorganic life would also be destroyed until deep into the soil. Billy says, am I also right, then, in accepting that the thermosphere of the Earth provides practically inexhaustible energies? Quetzal says yes, that acceptance is also correct. Billy says it's good that the Earthlings cannot use this energy of the thermosphere yet and still have no technological possibilities with it. Then still another question, what all can stress cause? Quetzal says stress is a very dangerous factor that attacks and damages the immune system, through which the body becomes vulnerable to all sorts of illnesses. Therefore, if a person suffers from stress, then he must also count on various illnesses, which relate to the body and all its organs as well as to the entire autonomous or autonomic nervous system and everything connected with it. However, the thoughts and feelings are also impaired by stress, through which also psychological and consciousness-related impairments and psychological illnesses can appear. So, for example, also neuroses, psychopathy, and psychoses, etc. are caused by stress. Billy says, in my opinion, psychological terror produces unusually great stress, I think. Quetzal says that is correct. Billy says, years ago, you once said that also in the new millennium, several new diseases and illnesses will arise, of which, until then, the people will still have no notion and will be affected by these. Occasionally, it should also concern diseases or illnesses that transfer from animals, birds, and fish to humans and, thus, break through the species barrier, which will then cost many human lives. Also, diseases and illnesses from outer space should be introduced at a later time, if I remember your words correctly. Quetzal says you have a very good memory, my friend. Billy says thanks. Priest Zimmerman already said without me wanting to express self-praise that I am a mnemonic. Quetzal says, mnemonic, that word is unknown to me. Billy says sorry. It's also not a German word but rather a Greek one. It means to have a very good memory. The term derives from Greek mythology, in which the Greek goddess of memory and the mother of the muses bears the name Mnemosyne. Quetzal says thanks for the instruction. That really was unknown to me. Billy says one really can't know everything. Just think of how often I stand like a donkey on a mountain when someone tells me something that sounds to me as though a cow would speak in Spanish. Quetzal says probably a bad comparison, since you understand some Spanish. Billy says I'm really no longer far along with that, as well as not with various other languages, with which I could get by in different countries. Since I don't need them anymore, they are largely lost to me. Just with Greek and English, I can still speak somewhat brokenly. But if, now, my comparison with the Spanish-speaking cow doesn't suit you, then I can also say that the things that are often said to me appear as Chinese or as incomprehensible hieroglyphs to me. Quetzal says, I have very well understood the sense of your words, it's just that the comparison seemed to be somewhat inappropriate, since you. Billy says, all right, my friend. You sometimes just take everything too literally. But I am now at the end of my tether. Quetzal says again, that is such an expression. Billy says, which means that I know nothing more, or that I have nothing more to explain and nothing more to ask. Quetzal says, so that is meant. Well, then I would now like to drink another glass of your good wine with you, if you still have this beverage. Billy says, you probably mean the peach wine. Of course, I still have that here. I'm honestly glad that I may offer you a glass and may drink one together with you. I can suffer a glass because of my medicines, you know. Then here, you can take the glasses out of the cupboard, meanwhile, I will bring in the bottle from outside. The end.